Hi everyone.
guys. So this is our second captain's video log.
Yay.
Today we'll present you some of the updates from the previous video we made and also give you some new information.
With regards to documents, we finished the sponsorship document and it's ready, and it's in the folder called StudCal Minutes in UTS Students. The FC document is still in progress.
We passed the changes for the tier system in the StudCal meeting, and now we're trying to figure out a way to properly present it to the entire school.
So we're just figuring out what's the proper procedure for this. So we'll try to get it out as soon as we can. So we found one company, Johnson's. Link is in the description box. And also Miss Drake has given us contact information for another ring company. So we're going to be comparing prices to give you guys the best price.
Regarding S6 Kilcoo, we've talked with a lot of people in the grade, and so far we've kind of noticed that only around 40% of the people are really interested in paying $400 for another trip.
So it's just a bit pointless to go on a grade trip with almost half of your grade missing. So we just decided that it's not worth it, basically. So next year we're going to be trying to find ways to make this more affordable for students.
We'll work with the S5 reps and find a way to start a new trip if possible.
Moving on to new stuff. At the beginning of the year, when we met with Miss Evans, we wanted to find ways to generate alternative sources of revenue for UTS. A, for the building fund, but also B, to maintain the school bursary and to make sure that this education is affordable for everyone. One of the things that we tried talking about was having camps during March break and summer break that are at UTS and led by staff and senior students. These camps would be for grade 5 and grade 6 students. It's a good way to market UTS. When we were discussing it with Miss Evans in the summer, we had a very small window of time to get these organized, get these camps organized, and so it just wasn't realistic to get it done by this March and this summer. We'll be working with the future captains and Miss Evans to try to make these things happen, because it's also a good leadership opportunity for senior students.
In the last video we were talking about ways that we could get the entire grade to have a trip with the F1s. Right now we think the best way is perhaps splitting up the grade into smaller groups, and that way it's much easier to manage a group of, let's say, 20 to 40 rather than 200, right?
So for the F1s, if you have anything that you like to do or any ideas of events you like to have, just email your S6 buddy and tell them.
We had something called Education Beyond the Classroom. There was a panel of alumni in the business field who came to UTS and gave presentations to students, right? And we feel like it's worth doing again. This time we can invite alumni from the medicine field or perhaps engineering field, and we're working with Advancement and with Mrs. Evans to come up with new events.
We were going to get a microwave in the rec room. That was one of the things that was brought up at the large forum. So we were working on that. But then there was an incident with popcorn and a fire alarm being set off. So after that incident, the school decided that they would have these industrial microwaves that wouldn't combust when overused. Each microwave, according to fire safety regulation, needs a certain amount of space, empty space, clear space around it. For a small household microwave, like the ones that we previously used, the radius was 2 to 3 feet. But for these larger industrial microwaves, it's probably going to be even more. So now we can't fit it in the rec room because we'd have to take out all the tables, and no one wants that. So A, there's a space issue, and B, there's a cost issue. These industrial microwaves are really expensive, so we thought it would not be a good use of school resources to buy a microwave just to put in the rec room. That's the reason why we can't have a microwave in the rec room.
The upside, I guess, is that these microwaves are really powerful and they're much faster than the smaller ones. So there won't be many, like a long lineup in the commons.
For it is survey link that your S5 reps produced. It basically has 10 items of clothing that you can pick from, and you check the ones that you want, and the 3 or 4 items with the most votes will be available in school clothing.
So when March break starts, the S5 reps will let you know which articles of clothing will be sold through the school.
After March break, they'll send out forms for designs, and then a few weeks later they'll send out the order forms, and then the order forms will be due a few weeks later, and then you'll get your school clothing by mid to end of May.
So hopefully before exams.
Yeah. What the S6s want to do is make this guide for the F1s next year. So it'll be like the S6 book of tips and handy tricks. It includes a blurb from every S6 that talks about what they wish they knew in F1. For the S6s, please remember to submit your blurb by the end of March break, because we only had one submission, and we need everyone to submit in order for this to work.
Yeah, and it only takes 1 minute, so.
Yeah. As always, thank you guys for watching. Please email us if you have any questions or concerns or suggestions to make this better.
We'll see you next week.